designed the food hygiene rating stickers that you see absolutely everywhere, but I designed them 16 years ago, and I said in my last video that if I could tweak it, I would, and you wanted to know exactly how. So come with me to my high street, and I'm going to hunt down a food hygiene rating sticker, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I change it. So we need to choose from, can I choose this one? Okay, let's go with this one. So first of all, I just want to say that I wouldn't actually change anything drastically. I would only make tiny little tweaks that I've noticed over the years. So the FSA logo is made up of different shades of green and white, and a secondary colour was actually black. Now obviously this has discoloured over time, but the other green is actually closer to this green that I chose. I actually made the secondary colour of black a primary colour in this instance because I wanted this green to really stand out. Because if you look at a window, the predominant colour that you look at is actually dark, it's not white, and if that background was white it would have felt really different, and I wanted this to have super contrast, so that's why I chose a black background so that it kind of blended into the window. Another thing I did that I don't think anyone ever notices, in this sticker it's not very obvious, is that I added a bit of a sheen, like a diagonal line on the other numbers to make them look like they were buttons that you could press, because in the brief it said that upon inspection you could go down or up a rating, and so I wanted it to look like, especially if you were like down here, you could go up to a 4 or a 5. Let me tell you what I would tweak. So first of all, the main thing that I would tweak is the font itself. So this is Avenir, and I think this is Avenir Demi. I would make that into Avenir Bold, or I would rethink the font entirely and find a new one, because first of all I think it's a little bit too thin, but it's also kerned a bit too tight, so it's a bit uncomfortable if you really think about it. So I would thicken that, which I think would just balance everything out a little bit better. What I've done for the rest of the design is I matched this thickness and the thickness of this circle and almost the thickness of the numbers, but the numbers are a bit thicker. I matched that to this font. I think if I thicken this font, I would thicken this line a little bit, and I'd thicken that line a little bit just to give it a little bit more contrast and punch. And I don't know if anyone's ever noticed, but I made the eyes a knife and a fork based on the FSA logo, which sometimes does make me cringe, but on the whole, I think I actually would keep it because it's quite cute. But by just thickening this a little bit, I think the kerning will help to just give it a little bit of a balance on that as well. And I also think that this triangle is a little too sharp. I actually matched that sharpness to the sharpness of Avenir, but I think that what I would do, it's a really subtle thing, it's like a really tiny curvature on the end of that triangle, just to give it a bit of a softness to it, because I think there's some really nice roundness to the FSA logo and the brand that I think just went a little bit too sharp on that triangle. But honestly, that is all I'd really change. It's teeny things. I did play around a lot with it, and there's probably a reason that I didn't make this font thick, because if I did, then the cutlery would have to get thicker as well. So well done, Pizza Express, you got a 5.